Smoke signals from around the campfire.
Hello everyone, greetings. Good to see so many people here. It's a good turnout. This is becoming our annual event. It's the preview for Campout, and it always sort of marks the beginning of that passage where things start to get really quite hectic in the last 3 weeks build up to the event. Not that they haven't been busy anyway, but it's really good to see you all here. How is everyone? In a word. Thumbs up.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yeah. So we've still got people coming in. So if I come over as a little bit distracted, I'll try not to be. So a few things to say. Campout is 10 this year. That's not to say we've done 10 events, but it's our 10th anniversary since the first one. And as many of you know, we're going back to the Bridge Inn in Michael Church, Eskley, in the foothills of the Black Mountains, which is where we started in 2016. And we're very excited to be doing that. We've had quite a journey from there. The second year we didn't actually do a campout. We had campfire conversations on the road, taking in venues as far north as Edinburgh, as far south as Axbridge. And then we came back and did a sort of trial version of a campout in 2018 back at the bridge without anything programmed at all. It was a sort of make up your own event as you go along, with a load of spaces on a blackboard and an invite to fill them in. And we had a lot of fun that year. Can you make sure you're muted? Actually, I was getting a little bit of echo back. Still got people coming in. Good to see everyone. Nearly up to 30 people. Second thing to say about Campout and Campfire, it's all entirely voluntary. So everything you see on the programme has been offered by you wonderful people. And we have such a selection of events coming in this year for Campout again. It's mind-boggling every year, actually. It always throws up something new and very exciting. And this year is no exception. And even the crew chip in. I've never taken a penny out of Campfire, and the event manager buys a ticket. I mean, it really is an extraordinary thing. It's the only way we can make it happen, because of the costs involved and the contributions and the generosity of all of you coming together and making this possible. Third thing to say, we have our own social network, campfireconvention.network. If you don't know about it, you'll see updates about the events and quite a lot of other posts there as well. And we also have a brand new website. The campout.live website has been completely revamped. And we've just started to put up all your bios that have come in from the contributors. So do have a look at that. There's lots of information on there about the history of Campfire, Campout in particular, FAQs for the event, which we need to update and keep updated as we get close to the event. And it's been quite fun putting it together, actually. And just to say, this Zoom, it's becoming a bit of an annual tradition. It sort of serves a couple of purposes, really. Firstly, an opportunity for everyone who's contributing to get to know each other. Not everyone is here who's contributing. We've had a few apologies for those who are off watching football or doing other things. But it's really good for introducing people to each other. And it's also a really good trailer that we can then put out to everyone who's attending. So welcome. And I'm going to just go through and introduce a few people who are on the call, who will talk for a few minutes about their sessions. And you'll have an opportunity in the chat, if there's anything you want to bring up while they're talking, please put it in the chat, but I'll throw it open at the end, perhaps have a break or two where people can ask questions as we go along. So I know Pop is in a different time zone. You wanted to go early. So would you like to kick off, Poppy? Where are you?
Hi, I'm house sitting for a month. Lucky me. So it's quite late. Well, it's late for me because I'm getting up early in the morning. So yeah, I've been awake since 5 or something. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed. But what do you want me to say, Pete? What should I say?
But just an introduction to what your session is about. And if you want to say anything more about Campout, that's always an added bonus because you're an established personality there now. Part of the furniture.
Well, yeah, the ever-moving furniture. Yeah. So I'm facilitating a workshop on family constellations. I'm an experienced constellations facilitator and trainer. And unfortunately, it's only an hour and a half one day, 3 hours, so that I can do a full constellation. But as it is, I just have time to do like an introduction. So you'll learn a little bit. I don't like to talk too much, so you'll learn a little bit about family constellations. And then I will do a couple of exercises with you where you will get the opportunity to set people up. That means ask people to represent either qualities or members of your family or people, and to drop into their bodies and see how they're feeling and then return some information to you. And this year's theme, and I was looking through my emails thinking, oh my God, I not sent the theme to Lizi. I can't remember, but I did manage to find it on my computer. And the theme that I'm thinking of doing, as I've done a couple of conferences this year, and the subject has been love, which is really the heart of the work that I do. It's all about finding the flow of love in your family system so that you can go forward with love in your heart and in your life, and feel the strength of all those people who survived long enough to pass on life to you, and have an opportunity to make good of it. So the theme is love. It's the flow of love, and we will be looking at elements of how love moves or doesn't get stuck in your life, and what kind of thing stops the flow. And the work, yeah, I mean, it's just really profound. It's hard to sort of talk about what it is in a few minutes, but basically, it's a way of exploring your belonging in systems that you belong to, and the good conscience that you have when you belong to something, and how it can be quite revolutionary to step outside of that good conscience and move into a different way of living. So I feel that it's got a resonance with Campout's ethos, a way of sort of moving into a new paradigm, but also not sort of not to denigrate everything that has led to your belonging and the benefits of belonging to a group, to the group that you come from, and also to the groups that you choose to move into. So yeah, I think that's probably all I need to say at this stage. But I really hope you'll come. The more the merrier. It's definitely been really great the last few times to have a nice big group to work with. So yeah, you'll all be welcome, and I look forward to seeing you all there.
Thanks, Poppy. And it's Sunday morning, your session, I think.
Yeah, Sunday late morning, right? Like 11:05 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday morning earlier, we do open space for a couple of hours, which we'll talk about later. Not to be confused with the open mic, which is on Saturday night. But I think there's some cross-referencing of venues. If you look at the program, there's still some tweaks to be made as people adjust their slots and a few things still to fall into place, but we're getting there, so bear with us. Someone who's been very much by my side putting this together and helping with the admin is Lizi, so I'd like to bring you in. You've been doing the heart to heart tent in particular, and you'll also be doing the earthing ceremony at the beginning on the Thursday, as you did last year. Good to see you.
Hi,
How are things?
everybody. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really excited for Campout. I came along for the first time last year, and just felt totally at home and at ease, which, being a somewhat alternative character, that doesn't happen that often. So I felt really at home, and it was joyous, and it felt like we were in a bubble of love, and I didn't want to go home again. So this year I'll be opening the ceremony opening the festival with an earthing ceremony. So I'm a real advocate for earthing, which is barefoot connection to the earth, creating a magnetic sphere within the body, your body, and Mother Earth. But also I bring ritual to that. So I'll be bringing along probably like bits of like lavender from the garden, stones, shells, anything I can kind of bring along really. And we were going to create an earth altar together. So we're probably going to be doing this over by the fire space. And it's very much part of Campout's ethos. It's a co-creation, it's a collaboration of energy, of love, of creativity in a almost like a mandala, as a gift to the land that we will be standing on together for those days and creating all sorts of magic. So that's going to be happening on the Thursday afternoon. And then on the Saturday, I will be holding space in the Heart to Heart tent, which we've called it this year, for my sound alchemy session, which I'm going to theme around the elements. So I'm going to bring the elements through our body with sound frequency. I'm going to bring all my gongs and my Tibetan sound bowls and other bits and bobs like my flute, and just create a real immersion for you to come and receive high vibrational frequency. So I work with gongs a lot. I feel like they are portals of divine space, and they enable us to release stagnant energy that's in our embodiments, and to breathe and to just release and become really in balance. So that's my offering in the Heart to Heart tent. I will be there on and off at the Heart to Heart tent, welcoming everyone. I've got a beautiful gathering that's going to be happening in the Heart to Heart. I'm really excited by it. And I'm sure other people are going to explain what they're doing, but we're going to have a shamanic takeover every afternoon, with Chris Waters and her Spirit of the Incas. So that's really exciting. We've got Tim, who I don't think can be on here tonight. He's a really busy guy today. He's got lots of clients. He's going to be doing a men's embodiment circle in the Heart to Heart tent. Just trying to think who else couldn't make it tonight. I think Andrea couldn't make it either. She's doing Breath in the Field. There's just so many beautiful offerings. I'm just so excited, Pete. I can't wait.
Me too. Thank
Yeah.
you, Lizzie.
You're welcome.
And yeah, some people may have known that tent under its previous alias of Eros Rising. So what's happened to the Eros? Is there still any?
We shall see what happens in the tent. But we all have Eros in us, of course, and we will be bringing that to every part of Campout, I'm sure.
Yes. Ties in with the love theme, doesn't it? For sure. And for those of you who's thinking, well, what about the politics? We started in 2016 very much on a tidal wave of sort of pro-Corbynite hope and optimism. And where's that gone? But, Brian Eno was our keynote speaker. And we also had a wonderful Scilla Elworthy, who's written numerous books and is a great peace activist. So, yeah, last year, I think, is Clifford on the call? I don't think he is today, but Clifford messaged me and said, what about the politics? So he ended up doing a session called What Does Revolution Look Like in 2025? which was absolutely packed to the rafters. So there are plenty of you here who are interested in the balance between spirituality and politics. We have to change things within to change things in the world, I guess, and it all relates, doesn't it? And with that in mind, I'm really pleased to welcome Ed Straw. Some people may recognise the surname, but it's good to have you with us, Ed. And you're doing a session called No More Elites. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Oh, well, hello, everyone, and thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm a student. I'm doing an MA in music by practice research. And so people who are musical and artistic in other ways will know that you experiment. You sort of fiddle, well, I call it fiddling anyway, and you sort of find something that works and you think, well, and then there's some theory that goes back into that. So the research and practice thing just goes round and round and intermingles and so on. And that's how really good stuff comes out. In government, it's all linear. And so I thought about doing a talk on applying music practice research to government. So basically government does research and comes up with a policy, and then it does practice. And it's like the two aren't really particularly well connected, not least since it's very hard to get some practice into the population, as it were, into us that's beneficial. Anyway, that then led on to me thinking part of the problem with government is that the people in it and their traditions of understanding. So, what collectively does this lot know, if you see what I mean? And so there's lots of lawyers and there's lots of economists and there's lots of people with a humanities background that go into some of the more sort of policy general areas. Some of them go into politics. We've got a full house more or less of career politicians. So the old days when actually it was representative quite well, and therefore you could have something that could call itself a parliament where, if you like, the people could come together. And yeah, people from all walks of life, all lifestyles, all sets of attitudes, and often very able as well from wherever they came. Whereas now it's all career politicians. So this struck me as not terribly handy since, what is the job of government? Does that lot sort of cover it? And then actually one of the biggest things is lobbying by corporates, companies, businesses, industries. And one of the reasons that they're so effective is because the people on the other side, which is the civil servants and the politicians, few of them actually have any experience of that background. So few of them are able to judge when they're having the rug pulled over their head. Galbraith called it inventing a credible threat. So the industry comes along and sort of produces this credible threat, and all the politicians, civil servants jump a mile, oh, we can't possibly want to do that. So actually in government, you need people who have worked in, I don't mean, sorry, with small scale businesses, but particularly large scale and international scale businesses where they know all the tricks. So, I mean, that would be one example. Another would be operations, getting things done. There aren't many people in government and the whole government machine that are specialised in getting things done. Anyway, sorry, I'm wandering, I fear. I will be scripted. Well, I'll have some notes so I don't do this. But then Pete said, so I was saying we got the wrong sort of elites. And then Pete said, well, how about no more elites anyway? And that then led into the title, No More Elites. Do we need an elite? And if you look at the website and the manifesto, that's very much about us getting together. And yeah, we need some structures, but getting together and sorting out an awful lot of things ourselves. I will toss in plenty of anecdotes about the incompetence and stupidity of those that I've seen operating at the top. There are some good ones as well, but just if you want some jokes, then they'll definitely be in there. Is that enough, Pete?
That's great, Ed. Thank
All
you
right,
very much.
fine.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a very uncertain world, isn't it, at the moment, which sort of brings us on to Chris Waters, his talk, as well as Spirit of the Inca, which Lizi already mentioned. You're doing a talk on walking with certainty in an uncertain world. Chris, would you like to speak
Yeah,
about both the things you're doing?
yeah. I'm here actually. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So it's the first time I've come to Campout, but it's not the first time I've been kind of around the edges of it because I really wanted to come a couple of years ago and I couldn't. But my colleague and friend, um, student of Spirit of the Inca, Jessie came and did the fire ceremony. And so she told me all about it, and I was like, yes, I want to come. And then last year I couldn't come either. And this year I put it in my diary. I want to be there because, yes, walking with a path of certainty is one thing, but, and we need that right now because the world is an uncertain place for sure. Um, but we need a new story. I think we need a whole new story about who we are, why we're here, what are we doing here actually? So my path, my shamanic path, has kind of taken me down that road of understanding that, firstly, if we want a new story, we have to be the new story. That's number one. It all starts within. Um, but it's bigger than that because the ripples of what we create go out into the world. So I love it because the ripples that I've inadvertently created, even with Campout, is that I think, Lizi, you said I'm doing a shamanic takeover in a it's like, yeah, I've got so many people here. So I can see Carrie, you're there. She's an ex-student of mine of Spirit of the Inca. We've got Kelly doing drum circle. Marnie, the musician, she's here. Jessie doing fire. Alex doing nature connection. Rouse is coming. She's going to do a despacho, which is actually very much like Lizi, like your mandala to the earth. So, yeah, my village is coming with me, which is such a beautiful thing because that's how we create a new story, right? With a village, not just one person, but a whole group of people with an intention to walk a different path. And not the old path, not the old story of, war and conflict and how we resolve things, but a new path that, we don't even really know what it is, but it's that very Buddhist thing of if you put your foot out with an intention, if you put your foot out, the path will show up. And yeah, so my walking with a path of certainty. I'm probably going to share, and I'm not 100% sure how my talk is going to. I like to work dynamically in the moment, so a lot depends on who's there. But I'd like to share some of the tradition that I work with, which is the Inca tradition. And what I love about this tradition is that, unlike other indigenous peoples, their traditions hold the wound of what happened to people who were different. The witches and the shamans and the wizards and the wise women. And there's a whole big story about what happened in the past. And what I love about the Inca tradition is that they do not hold the wound because their focus is not on who we have been, but on who we are becoming. And so, in a way, I love this. I love this group of people already. I'm feeling so, yeah, so connected because here's a group of people who are wanting something different, like all of us. And we can do that. I know we can do that with, sharing, coming together, creating a village. And I'm so happy that my village is coming with me. So that's me.
Thank you, thank you, Chris. And I remembered actually you did do something with us during the online. Do you remember the online festival we did in 2020, World Harmony? Uh,
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't remember exactly what you did there, but it was
It's a
yeah.
long time ago. I have
Yes,
no idea.
the world certainly changed. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. So
Yeah.
yeah, for any of you want to check the timings of these, do have a look on the website. We will be putting up an actual calendar that will probably go up in the next week. We've got a few things to chop and change as ever. Rose, really good to see you on the call. We've known each other for a few years, and your advantages of age is becoming legendary. Really good to have you at the Campout for the first time, and welcome. You need to unmute.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, it's great to be here. I have been talking to Pete about coming for years now, only things just coincide with Camp Out, other festivals so far that I had to be committed to. But what's really wonderful is that I co-founded something called Advantages of Age, which challenges the media narrative around aging. And we have lots of threads within this camp out too. So I know Poppy's in Advantages of Age. Jamila, I'm connected to because she's part of the Poets of the Soul, who's over there, and there's various other people. So it feels like a really great thing that I'm here because Advantages of Age are just organising a conference actually, a Rebel Later Life Ideas Party, we're calling it, in October. So anyway, sure, I'll be talking a bit about that when I'm around. But I am actually Ed Straw talked about being a student. Well, I'm doing a master's in poetry writing at the moment. I have been doing poetry for some while, but I just decided to be a bit more focused enlarge my whole vocabulary around it all. So, so I'm going to be running a How to Write a Poem from the Soul workshop, which will really be just an opportunity to take a breath, to go out into nature probably. I haven't structured it entirely yet, but usually I come with a couple of prompts. We get the opportunity to share with each other. There's lots of spontaneity. When I've done it before, actually, this collective that I am now part of, and that Jamila's part of, called Poets of the Soul, came from me doing a workshop where I said at the end, anyway, everybody, do you want to go and perform? And so we ran off and performed in the cafe at the end. So, just come and, take that opportunity to write. It's really a great thing, and then share, and then who knows what might happen.
Indeed, thank you. And I'll also be opening up a similar sort of parallel creative space on a Sunday morning, which will explore healing through writing, connection, creativity, and what we can do with the collective imagination. So I'll be giving some gentle writing prompts, intuitive drawing, reflection, or sharing, and we can explore both the wounds and medicines that we carry as individuals, communities, and as a culture in transition. So that will be Sunday morning. I'll be holding space for that.
It's fine on Saturday afternoon, or do you not know it yet?
Is yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just check. Unless Lizi or anyone else knows and can beat me to it. You're on at 3:30 till 5 on Friday afternoon in the garden stage at the moment. So yeah, I'm also massively looking forward to to hearing some of my songs being sung, and I heard Jodie, who's on the call. Welcome, Jodie, and heard some of the stuff you did at Liz's retreat in Greece, and it really stirred me and moved me to my soul. So I'm really privileged that you'll be leading a session singing some of the songs from my forthcoming album, This Is the Fire, which is almost finished. We've almost finished the recording process. Then we have to mix it. So it's not going to be out until early next year. But parallel to that is some of the songs we're singing in community. And those of you who joined the call early would have seen Helen Yeomans, who I'm also working with on Sing Out, which is an event we're doing here at Treeley Farm in beginning of September. But I'm really full of gratitude for you offering to come along and lead the singing, Jodie. So really looking forward to that.
Oh, thank you. I'm super excited. And yeah, so it'll be my first time at Campout. So I'm thrilled to connect with such creative, beautiful souls. Yeah, the energy just on this call is epic. So yeah, I'm really honoured as well to be leading on your beautiful songs, Pete. And I've been hearing some of the lyrics already with people talking. So yeah, it's really exciting and shows the depth of connection already. So yeah, I think I've been in the kind of recent years more drawn to connection through voice. I'm also my kind of day jobs within health, but privately as a practitioner, I'm a coach. And 9 times out of 10, we are suppressed and do things that careers or make life choices that aren't connected to our truth. And a lot of that comes from scripts and stuff that we've been created into as small children. So connecting with that inner child, that playfulness, creativity, and also that voice, that inner voice that we all have, is really something I feel very passionate about. And everyone can sing. As so many people say, I can't sing, you can. And it's the same as be quiet, you know. So that's why I'm super, super passionate about that organic community connection through voice. And hey, when there's a collective, it's a lot more powerful when we're singing from the same song sheet. So yeah, thank you, Pete, for sharing your music. I'm absolutely loving it, and can't wait to share and sing it with you all and hear the beautiful harmonies. It was great to hear what you was playing when we joined the call and just straight away moving, etc. So yeah, that's on Saturday, I believe we'll be doing that. So yeah, watch this space, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Really looking forward to that. And it was amazing how many people said to me last year, I came along to the singing session thinking, I can't sing, but I can. So it's surprising. James Malins, great to see you here. It was through Andrea we got an introduction, I think, and you introduced me to the Great Global Garden, which is certainly gaining some traction. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me all right, everyone?
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. So thank you very much, Pete, for the invite, and for and to Andrea as well for taking the time to unite us together. That's very kind. So yeah, the Great Global Garden is a path we've been on for 6 years. It is all about the restoration of our entire world through a return of our people to our land. So I've heard a lot of things at the minute with Ed and other people mentioning about, the way our world is and the fact that we are not free individuals. So the Great Global Garden is about restoring every square inch of earth, our soil, ecosystems, the quality of food on our plate, our sovereignty and freedom, and a future for our children, all through forest gardens. So the idea is if we can return millions of families back to the land to grow forest gardens and horticulture, and we can set up these villages, that we can solve every single problem that Earth currently has. And, online I've been kind of begging somebody to suggest another solution. I haven't yet heard one, but as far as I'm concerned, this is it. We've had our lands, as someone else mentioned this as well, we've had our lands taken from us for many thousands of years. we are ruled by people who unfortunately seem to be a little bit sparing of their consciousness and their conscience, but probably the first one as well. So the whole idea is going to be how we return our people back to our land. So ironically, I'm over here with my friend Michael on the Clean Peninsula in Wales. So I'm out in the beautiful nature, and we're going through our 7 pages as well. So this will be like you say, Pete. We've sort of had 6 million, just over 6 million views in 3 months. Once we've got these finished, we're going to go for it. And whether that looks like, obviously politics is 2 sides of the same coin, but if we can unite the people, if we can bring them together, if we can say to them that there is a piece of this world that is a paradise for you and your children, it will provide for you on every level. You'll have to want for nothing, and we can unite the people under that premise, then I feel that we can change the fabric of our societies, the way the modern world is ran, because at the minute it's pretty suicidal and ecocidal. It's like the modern agriculture is desolating the soils, etc., and the forest will restore them. So yeah, that's what I'll be talking about. So I'm very excited to do that. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity to come and spend some time with you guys.
Thank you, James. That's great. Yael, I know you've had a bit of a tough day, so I thought I'd come to you next while you're still awake. You'll be waking us up in the morning at Campout.
Yeah, thank you, Pete. So I'm just trying to work out how to do this, whether to look at you all in gallery or it's such a conundrum. Really amazing to hear what everyone is offering so far. And so I am offering 2 early morning embodied active movement meditations. And so early morning is 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. And what it will, the purpose of it is to open and be ready for whatever wants to happen in the day. So to prepare the body, the heart, the nervous system for the day is what we're doing. So it's going to be approximately shaking, myofascial unwinding, dancing for expression, and stillness and coherent breathing. And pleasure and joy and anything else that comes up. So I will have different music on each day, and we'll see what happens. I always respond to what's here. And from my perspective, movement is key for absolutely everything. Keeping things in movement is key. And if it's wanted, I'm also open to offering private myofascial energetic release bodywork sessions. So if you're interested in that, please talk to me when we're there in the field together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Campout is also known for its music, although it's not a music event. There's so many other things on offer, but there's a fair dollop of music. Mike Harris, time to bring you in here because you've been with Campout for a few years now, looking after the sound and your wizardry with the technology, and also running the open mic session, which has become more and more popular on the Saturday night. So good to see you here, Mike.
Hi, Pete. Yeah, it's good to be back. Very excited looking through the program at all the stuff we've got on in the live music arena. What can I say about it? I'm doing a few things. One of the key things, I'll be in touch with some of you over the next couple of weeks about anything you need from a kit point of view. Like, do you need a projector? Do you need a flip chart stand? Do you need some electricity? Do you need a microphone? That sort of thing. Especially if you're in a band, I'll be checking in with you. And mainly what I will say is, because Campout is a well, what I will say is, if you need something and you've got it and you can bring it. That will be really useful for us. Yeah, the open mic Saturday night has always proved really popular. As Pete said, in the last few years, things on the garden stage are going to be a little bit different because obviously in the evening we are working in the back of a pub, so that's going to be an interesting thing happening there. And we've had all sorts of things on the open mic, from spoken word to live music to some poetry to just people's thoughts, sharing of their journal entries, that sort of thing. Anything, so anything goes for that. So really looking forward to doing that. And then for my own part, I will be performing on Sunday lunchtime with my partner Naomi as Circling Ravens. So we're pleased to be back. We've done the last couple of years, so really good to bring some music to the event. And the other thing we'll be doing, see, I'm kind of doing a lot here, is Naomi and myself will be bringing back a session, or we're pleased to sort of bring it back as an official program session. Last year we did a session called Uncommon Ground as part of the open space towards the end of the event, and it was popular with the people that came, really enjoyed it, and we've run it a few extra times. So I'm just going to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about that session. And we've called it Uncommon Ground, and we were really influenced by the common ground theme of Campout, and so we're sort of playing on that a little bit. And what we're looking at is how the world keeps getting more and more polarized, and I'm sure we've all have had, well, I hope we haven't all had, but I'm sure we probably have had conflict with family or friends over opinions about things. And certainly, the folks that run the companies that run social media generally make money out of polarization of opinion, that sort of thing. Conflict sells. And so what we're offering is a workshop on how to listen to opinions that you may find difficult to listen to, and how to talk about something that you may be nervous about talking about because you might feel the other person might respond in a difficult way. So that's the idea of it. We're drawing on things like Marshall Rosenberg's nonviolent communication, on active listening, on general dialogue. For my own part, I've been studying, I started training in psychology this year, so I'll be bringing a little bit of that into it, and we'll probably be talking, also bringing in a bit of a focus on rupture and repair. So when you have that kind of conflict, how can you, what does it feel like? How could we maybe repair in a conversation? So that's what the workshop's about, and that, I think, is on Saturday afternoon at the moment. And that's me. Did you need me to say anything else, Pete?
Yeah, I'd love you to repeat the strap line for your Circling Ravens, which we put on your poster. I've forgotten what it was, but it raised an eyebrow or a smile or two when you came up with it.
Oh yeah, I've got it. It's written down there. It says, songs of vagrancy, sex, death, and various gods. Just what you want at lunchtime in a pub garden, I think. I think that's going to go down well.
Thank you. Excellent. Yeah, some musical treats in store. I was lucky enough at Chilled Cider, the little event we do at the Square and Compass over summer solstice, to meet John Maybey for the first time and witness his dexterity with the pedals and effects. How many do you have at your feet, John?
That's the microphone on, yes. Yes, lots of pedals. I mean, I call myself a multi-instrumentalist. I'm really a guitar player, but I have a mandolin and a bass and some other instruments, percussion instruments. And then I have a loop station. It's the looper is, yeah, the foot pedals are mad because the looper is like 6 loopers all in one, so it gets a bit crazy. But if you can, I think I'm playing, not sure when I'm playing, Pete, maybe Friday. but I feel like meeting some of you here, I think you'd enjoy it. I'm already starting to feel nervous because I'm in the presence of great people here, but I think sometimes I think about the ideal audience for my music. It's kind of alternative, creative people, artists. I think they tend to go towards the music I do because it's not in any genre, it's not in any particular style, and it's just so hard to explain what it is. But I just feel if you can make it and come along and listen, I think you're going to enjoy it, and I'm really looking forward to coming to play. So, thank you, Pete.
I think it will go down the storm. I particularly enjoyed your dabble into Tubular Bells and into Jean-Michel Jarre, and you quite a few traditional folk tunes like Banish Misfortune was one that I recognised. So yeah,
yes, it's
and as you say, we're in the presence of great people. One of them is someone you've collaborated with musically, as have I, which is Marnie. So great to see you here, Marnie. And do you want to tell us what you're up to at Campout?
Hello, everybody. Hi. That's great, John. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So John and I used to work with each other for many years with a duo band and then a sort of folk rock band. And now, so I'll be performing a solo set with acoustic guitar. I will also have a loop pedal. I only have one loop pedal. John's got like a million when it's like fills the whole stage. I don't know how he gets around them all. It's like, and the multitasking, but I'll just be with my one and that's enough for me. So I'll be layering up vocal harmonies and harmonizing myself, layering up vocals. So it'll be, really exciting. And it's my second kind of solo performance, so it's all very new to me because I'm used to having an amazing guitarist doing this thing, and it's me on the guitar. So so it's there'll be a few jazz notes in there probably, and some spine-tingling music. Apparently I've got an amazing voice, not like my talking voice, so I'm told. There'll be serious music with a lot of silliness and humour as well, and a bit of joining in, which is good. What else? I'm also a shaman. I trained with Chris Waters and Spirit of the Inca, so I'm very grateful to be able to share this beautiful energy healing medicine. It's very pure and beautiful, so I'll be with the workshops with the Incas, and there'll also be a sparkly table with a dream box and lots of coloured paper for people to write down their dreams and wishes, and then basically absolutely anything, and then I'll be placing it in, and then you place it in the dream box, and then after, on the next new moon, I'll be holding a shamanic fire ceremony. So I'll make a dispatch with all the people's dreams all folded up, this beautiful offering that I put together with so much love and gratitude and all that energy. It's just so powerful and such an honour, actually. And then holding this fire ceremony, which will transmute those energies of all those dreams of all these different people, and that all those seeds that will be going out into the universe and assisting in bringing their dreams into reality, assisting them. So that's a really wonderful thing. And so not sure where that'll be, but I'm sure you'll see the sparkles and be drawn over to it sometime. I think that's... Anything else I've forgotten about, Pete?
Thank you for what you've contributed. That's great, Marnie. Really looking forward to hearing and seeing you.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's really exciting, and I was finally able to make it last year, and it was just one of the best events I've ever been to, and that connection and that community. And as a woman on her own going to a festival, I was totally safe. I felt so safe. I could walk anywhere all night long, and it was just everybody. It was the community, and everyone looking after each other, and it was beautiful. So yeah, really grateful to be doing more this year.
Thank you.
So
we haven't yet seen Charlie or Leonardo show their faces. Are either of you still around, or are you hiding behind your?
Hello there. Yes, I unfortunately, a few years back, I put some sellotape over the camera here on the Mac because I got paranoid. Well, I'll be doing my own kind of acoustic, my acoustic set. So I work no pedals with me, no pedals, just me and the guitar. Yeah, so it'll be some of my stuff, and then some covers in the good tradition of like the kind of community music, the classics from the past. Hopefully, I'll reinterpret it with the right vibe for the occasion.
Fantastic. Yeah. And you'll do Promised Land by Johnny Allen, which is one of my favourites, actually.
Promise Land? Is that me?
I think it was.
I'm not sure that's me, man.
Sorry,
you're mixing up with someone else.
Is this Leonardo talking?
Yeah, it's Leonardo, yeah.
I couldn't see you there.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's what Charlie will be doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, the tape that I put on the computer smudged the screen. So yeah, sorry, I beg your pardon about that. But yeah, so lovely to hear you all and everything you're saying. So inspiring, brilliant. Yeah, and thanks again so much, Pete, for letting me come along, man. This is great.
Pleasure. Anything else you want to say, Charlie?
Oh, hi there. Yeah, so I'm here on behalf of the Ousted band. So it'll be my first attendance this year, but we have played at Bridge Inn before, so everyone's familiar with it. We do early rock and roll and blues, so lots of fun covers, bit of Chuck Berry and Ray Charles and that kind of thing, and Promised Land.
It'll be a rocking good time. And as Mike says in the chat, have you tried, this is for Leonardo, have you tried some turpentine or meths on the camera, Leonardo?
Yeah, I'll have to get on the case for that. Yeah, thanks, man. That's great.
There are lots happening musically. I'm going a bit further into, I suppose, an audio-visual experience. Simon, you had a wonderful Octopus's Garden last year at Three Pools, and you'll be coming down and doing something in one of the barns, I believe.
Yeah. Hi, Pete.
Hi.
Thanks very much. Spot on, Mike. I went for the turpentine on camera. I'm going to do something similar to last time. It's going to be a installation, bits of art, sound, color, but I'm not really sure which way it's going to go. I'm going to bring a load of stuff, haven't seen the space, and just somewhere people can come and sit there. They'll be there all weekend. I'll probably have a bit of a mix up all the way through. But until I know what we're working with, I'm just going to make up as I go along, that's the way I prefer to work anyway. So that's good. Much easier than planning beforehand and finding out you forgot something.
Yeah, we love emergence at Campout, and yours is a good example of that. So really looking forward to it. Caroline Gaskin, good to see you here. You last joined us on three of you did a homeopathy special, didn't you, a while ago, a couple of years ago now, I think.
Really
good to see you coming back to Campout.
Thank you. Yeah, I came to Campout in 2023 with a good friend, and it really felt like a summer when I wanted to be in the company of like-minded people. And, Campout, I'll just never forget Jeff saying that he hadn't felt this way about a festival since the Rainbow Gathering. And it was just such a beautiful, frank space, and it felt like we were allowed after so much repression of COVID times. I live in central London, it just felt like a really good time. We just did a little pop-up on homeopathy because one of the things that I met loads of homeopaths there. That's the other bit I should say, which was great. Met new people around the fire, and one of the things that I felt then, and this may be different now, but was very much a sense of particularly men feeling lost about their health, not having tools, the old ways that we've trusted. Obviously, as a homeopath of 26 years, I haven't, but the old ways that we've trusted when it comes to health, turning to the doctor for solution. Suddenly that wasn't there anymore post-COVID. And obviously many of us in this space, maybe have made other choices for a long time. But I still felt this sense, and that's why I said, look, we've got to speak out. We've got to do something in this glade. We've got to sow a seed here. So we just did a chat, and it was great, because I think people were really feeling disempowered. Everything that we knew to be true, like vitamin D or vitamin B. I mean, this isn't homeopathy, but this is, we're suddenly like, no, with no solutions other than your own bewilderment. And so that's really where that part came out of. But another sort of aspect to what I work with that emerged through my own experience was that of menopause and a massive transition for women. And what is the point of beyond fertility when all other creatures are fertile until they die? And so that time and the struggles that we now have in the 20th, 21st century is massive. Why do we have these struggles physically, women? What's going on? We're the ICs, the canary in the coal mine. We are the harbingers, the watch out, this is coming. How's the younger generations? But what's happened this year, and the reason why I wanted to work with a workshop space of hormonal transition, and I'm just looking at how that takes shape. I have an art background as well. I might bring some big rolls of lining paper, and do our own timelines on it or something like that. I don't know yet, but the reason for hormonal transition particularly is because earlier on this year I was in Scotland on retreat, and our driver was this beautiful older gentleman with white hair, such a beautiful, gracious man. He's dressed in tweed. He's driving our bus. We'd gone out to the Stones at Callanish, and he must have heard somebody ask me something about menopause. And he took me aside and he said, can I ask you about menopause? And I thought he was going to talk about andropause, about ask me some questions about changes in a man's, energy, sexuality, etc., etc. And he said, my wife is going through menopause and she's a changed woman, and I don't know how to support her. And I mean, I feel like crying saying this again. He said, and I don't know how to support her anymore because she's a completely changed woman. And what can I do? Where can I find support? And I was like, wow. And then I heard that conversation a couple of times more from men. And I thought, this is a relationship wrecker unless we know how to listen, what we're listening to. It's bewilderment for women when they suddenly touch into massive anxiety for the first time in their life, or crisis of confidence, or they don't know what to wear anymore because they don't look right and nothing feels right. How do we support, women in our lives who are going through this transition, which is hitting us so hard because of, all the ills of the 20th and 21st century? So I want to do something around, what that transition means for us generationally, because it is different, what it's going to mean for the future, how can we support our daughters, our sisters, our work colleagues. There's something around that, because this is an emerging, very now conversation. So yeah, anything you want to throw into that pot, and not necessarily now, but like between now and August, it's sort of fermenting, if you like.
Thanks very much, Caroline. Really looking forward to that. Paula, good to have you back at Campout. You'll be focusing again. What are you focusing on this time?
Focusing, Pete. And it's like we said last year, I think 3 days just isn't enough, is it? There's so much and so varied. So Yeah, focusing. So I think it was Chris, she talked about bringing a village with her. We're talking about, being in community. How can we come back to really communicating, being in a better world? And so what I do, I teach focusing. I'm a psychotherapist. I work a lot with couples, relationships. And, sometimes people are communicating and they've really got no idea what's going on inside of them. I had a GP come to me last week, a retired GP, having a conflict with his neighbour. And he said, I've got this great big stone in my belly and I just go out in the garden and I feel scared and I run back in. And so what focusing is, it's checking in with what's here, what's here in the present moment now around all of this conflict. And conflict's a great example because I'm seeing it also in communities. There's conflict happening. There's communities imploding around me. So I'm bringing to him, I'm just flexing that muscle of, okay, so let's go to that feeling and you describe it to me. And, what is that part of you wanting to say? And the conscious mind knows the old story. Yeah, if only the neighbour would be nice to me again and would be all cozy and be able to get on for the next so many years. But there's so many underlying things. And we got to, lots of beliefs he had about his past. And then when that part of him speaks about the real conflict, there's so many insights as to how we can just be with it and give it attention. So focusing is very much about being in the present moment, turning towards what's there, because that's hard, whether it's a pain or an illness or a thought or just a disharmony in our lives. We can turn towards it, we can give it space, we can be with it. And so I'll give a taster of that. I do a lot of listening skills, so active listening. What I'm talking about sounds a little bit like nonviolent communication. I am trained in that as well, but focusing is much more embodied and it is such a useful skill. I've been focusing for about 25 years and it helps me in life, to be in life, to deal with difficult situations, to bring that to, all parts of my life. And I just want to say that Leigh is a fellow focuser, so I won't be alone this time at Campout as far as focusing. And I'm sure, people do know about focusing that are on the call and here. And I'm sure lots of us are very good communicators, but it's a skill that is quite easy to learn and very, very kind of efficient in taking us forward in tricky situations. And I've also invited Dharma Bandhu. He's going to support me in the workshop. He was at Campout 2023, also a fellow focuser. So I'm going to feel a little bit like, got some people on my shoulders as well. So I'm looking forward. My workshop's on the Friday morning. So good start to take us through the weekend. And look forward to seeing you there. And catch me in between workshops, catch me anytime, because I'm not volunteering. I'm just going to hang out for the rest of the time. And I'm looking forward to some brilliant conversations with, all what I'm hearing here. So catch me anytime and we'll do a run through of focusing too. So thanks.
Thanks, Paula. And Paula's also one of our Sunday Zoom hosts. We do a regular, usually weekly, Sunday morning Zoom at 10:30, which you're all very welcome to come to. Campfireconvention.network. If you look in Campfire events, you'll see the link there. Jamila, you're doing a session on finding your voice in the heart-to-heart tent.
I am, and I just had to find literally get my microphone working again. Sorry, it's a bit dark in here. I might just try moving around to see if I can bring a bit more light in, but I only have very, very small light on my houseboat, so this isn't very much better, I don't think. But anyway, what I'm working with is a different way of being with our voices, really with it's I've been doing workshops with voice over quite a number of years, and they've developed into always really coming from within us, from our own heart, improvising, but not in the way of melody or any of those kind of things. It's more about an approach to being really tuned to yourself and the group, and beyond that, the whole of Earth around, and all of the different elements. I bring different instruments so that people can use some instruments as well, and very often may do introductory warm-ups to really go through sounding through our whole body system, and just getting comfortable with the sounds, any sounds that come, and then perhaps moving into an exploration or visualization that could take us into what it would be like to use ourselves, our voices together, and any instruments to then be in particular elements, in water, for example, and where in water, and each person would be in both their own and what we're all sharing together in the sounds, the rhythms, the movements that we're making. And so it's always in the moment, really. And staying in the moment is a very key part of it, and getting familiar with making different types of sound, getting familiar with opening to what's arising, moment by moment, and then sharing those experiences, and then maybe moving into another element, another type of landscape, or something that has been stirred by what's already happened. So there's a lot of ways of expression, also with the body, with movement, also with the rhythms or different instruments that people choose at different times. So it's a different way of being, and yet completely naturally being exactly who we are and how we are. So I know that that's on Saturday at 11, and it would be wonderful to see people, be with people that find that draws you. That would be wonderful. And I will definitely be exploring and being with so much of what I've heard offered already. So thank you very much. Bless you all.
Thank you. It's also worth saying we'll be doing a morning circle every morning where we come together and people will have a chance to talk briefly about their session again on that day, and any other thing, that housekeeping or anything else they want to bring up in the group. So a couple left. Jackie D, good to see you here. You've just been added this week, I believe, and you're part of the Wellbeing Glade.
Hi, Pete. Wow. I feel a bit kind of dumbstruck and blown away by just the amazing talent and people here, and just so privileged that because of Lizzie's enthusiasm for Campout, she's like, "You're gonna love this. You've got to come and be there." And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm getting into. But the more I hear, I'm like, I can't wait. I just think there's going to be so much richness and conversation and creativity and expansion and life. So I will be holding a massage therapy tent. Not doing it all the time because I'm now thinking, gosh, there's so much here I want to get to. So I will probably have different times during the days where I will be available. And my approach to massage therapy, the background is more of a sports, therapeutic, deep tissue massage training. But over time, it's sort of evolved into the thing that I'm really passionate about, which is holistic care. So often it just frustrates me, especially nowadays. You know, you go to the GP, you've got your 10 minutes, you talk about your one thing, and you're in and you're out. That's if you even get to see a GP without just having a phone conversation. And I really believe in holistic care of our humanity, of our mind, body, and soul. And so when I'm offering a massage, I do the physical therapy, but I'm really tuning in to what is the body saying? Where is it holding tension? Where is the underlying emotion? Perhaps there's something else that the body's communicating through this physical symptom that we're feeling in the body. And I'll allow my hands to guide me. They are used as an open vessel of healing, and I love just pouring love and healing into whichever body I'm working with. So I'm guided really intuitively over what each individual body needs. And I've also had many years working in full-time spiritual environments, in church communities and pastoral care, and really big transitions and stages of life with people. So I'm very open to conversation and hearing story. And through that, I've also done a lot of coaching, life coaching work as well, where I think just trying to help people get unstuck, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. So I'm really excited about meeting all of you, and come and find me, have a massage. And I can't wait to experience some of the beautiful offerings here as well. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks very much, Jackie. Leigh, you're combining with Wendy for a sketch and connect with nature session. Do you want to tell us about that?
Okay, sure. Thank you. Yeah, sketch and connect with nature with Wendy. So I've got a yeah. I'm just very much a sort of colour and sketch and doing things with my hands, keeping my mind quiet. And Wendy came up with this idea at the last crew meeting to do a workshop, and where we connect with nature. We use simple materials, pencil, piece of paper, and just observe what's in front of us, as a way to, I suppose, also to slow down and bring mindfulness to where we're at. And yeah, Wendy's a practicing artist in London. I'm a kind of eclectic maker and seamstress in Sheffield. And yes, I welcome anybody who wants to just connect with nature in that way. I can't think of anything else to say right now about that. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to I'm very grateful to be part of the group, the team, the community, and to bring whatever I can. You know, I'll probably bring some sketchbooks to show some, things that I've made or designed or created, and hope to inspire some love of colouring or love of drawing and bring that into the community. So yeah, and I'm also a focuser, as Paula said.
Thank you, Leigh.
Okay.
And you've been doing some nice sketching for us this week as well.
I've done some signs. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up soon, but I'd throw it open to any comments or questions or reactions at this point. If you'd like to raise preferably a digital hand, or if you can't find that, which is in the react button, an actual hand. Or you can scratch your ear like James is doing. Simon. Or you're just giving a thumbs up?
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, I hit the wrong reaction button there. No, having sort of been sort of around Campfire for a few years now, actually, gosh, it's amazing how this particular Campfire seems to be coming together. I know, Pete, you've been sort of trying to get it slightly, not say a back seat, but further, say at a arm's length, this Campfire, but really everyone here who's in the sort of production have really come together well, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I can't overstate how much everyone is grateful for everyone stepping up and doing their bit, really. I was intending to step back, and the person who was going to do the contributor liaison stepped down at short notice, so Lizi stepped in, and between us we've been handling that. So probably doing as much as I usually do, if not more, but hopefully after August I can step back a bit more. Well, remains to just say thanks to everyone for coming along, and really looking forward to seeing you in a field. So thanks, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Bye, everyone.
much.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers. Yeah.
Bye.
Nice one. Yeah, well done.